Imagine finding a coin in your pocket. Change could be worth up to $80,000, maybe even as much. As sounds unbelievable, right? Well, today we're diving into one of the most legendary U.S. coins ever minted, the 1976 Bicentennial quarter dollar. This isn't just any quarter. Some rare error versions of this coin have sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auction, shocking collectors and making history. But here's the best part: millions of these quarters were released into circulation, which means rare treasures could still be hiding in plain sight, maybe in your own coin jar at home. Stick people with me until the very end, because I'll reveal the most expensive Bicentennial quarter ever sold, and why a simple mistake at the mint can turn 25 cents into a life-changing fortune. One of the most treasures in modern American coinage, the 1976 Dear Bicentennial Eisenhower dollar. Can you imagine holding a coin in your hand that looks ordinary to most people but is secretly worth more than a luxury car? Maybe even a brand new house. Imagine finding a dollar coin in your collection, one you thought was just a cool keepsake from America's bicentennial celebrations, only to discover it could bring you or even a jaw-dropping $90,000 at auction. This is not just a fantasy. It is the unbelievable reality. Behind this coin is more than just a piece of money. It is a slice of history, a symbol of America's 200th birthday, and for the lucky few who discover one with rare errors, a life-changing jackpot. Most famous Bicentennial quarter errors. Now let's get into the heart of the story: the error quarters that turn pocket change into a jackpot, the wrong planchet errors. A 1976 Bicentennial quarter struck on a 40% silver planchet has sold for over $70,000 to $76,000 at auction. Another example struck on a foreign coin planchet also brought in tens of thousands. Double strikes, depending on how far off the second strike was. These errors can range from hundreds to thousands of dollars in value. One dramatic double strike has been valued at over $15,000 to $20,000. Off-center strikes. Off-center coins happen when the blank isn't seated correctly in the press. With a coin as iconic as the Bicentennial quarter, collectors will pay $5,000 to $10,000 or more. Proof errors. The mint also produced special 40% silver proof Bicentennial sets for collectors. One of these proof errors sold for more than $50,000 to $60,000, shocking even experienced dealers. Auction records and shocking sales. Let's talk real numbers, because this is where the excitement builds. A Bicentennial quarter struck on a silver planchet has fetched as much as $70,000 to $76,000 at major auctions. Another rare error version topped $80,000, making it one of the most valuable quarters ever sold. Even more common errors, like dramatic off-center strikes or double strikes, have crossed the $10,000 mark. These aren't just theoretical prices, these are actual sales that have stunned the coin collecting world. It was a big coin, a real handful, larger than a quarter and heavier than a $50. But in 1976, something very special happened. America was celebrating its bicentennial, the 200th anniversary of independence. To mark the occasion, the mint redesigned both the quarter, the $50, and the Eisenhower dollar with a dual date 1776-1976 and brand new reverse designs. For the Eisenhower dollar, the reverse showed the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon, a powerful image tying America's birth to its achievements in space exploration. Struck in both Philadelphia and Denver, these coins became instant collectibles, but most people never imagined that hidden among them were error coins so rare and so valuable they would one day sell for more than $70,000. Imagine holding one of these in your hand and knowing it could pay for a brand new car, or even part of your mortgage. How to identify a valuable Bicentennial quarter? Now, here's where it gets really fun, because this is where you can play treasure hunter. If you want to check your own change for valuable Bicentennial quarters, here are the key things to look for. Check the date. All Bicentennial quarters will say 1776 to 1976, but don't stop there. Look at the mint mark. Coins with 80 were struck in Denver, and those with no mint mark were from Philadelphia. Proof and silver coins carry an S for San Francisco. Check the metal. If your quarter looks silvery on the edge instead of showing a copper stripe, it might be a 40% silver planchet coin. Look for errors. Is the design off-center? Is there a missing detail? Does the coin look double-struck? Any of these could mean serious value. Proof coins. If you have a proof coin from a special set, check it closely. Error proofs are among the most valuable. Why collectors love the Bicentennial quarter? Beyond the errors, the Bicentennial quarter holds a special place in American history. Today, these wrong planchet errors are among the most sought-after modern U.S. coins, with values reaching from $70,000 to $90,000 depending on condition and collector demand. But silver planchet errors aren't the only showstoppers. There are examples of 1976 D. Eisenhower dollars struck off-center where the design is shifted dramatically, leaving a blank crescent on the coin. Collectors love off-center strikes, and the larger the shift, the higher the value. Combine that with the historic Bicentennial dual date and the Denver mint mark, and you have a coin that can bring tens of thousands of dollars. Another thrilling error type is the double strike, where a coin is struck once, ejected, but somehow struck again off-center. On a coin as large as the Eisenhower dollar, a double strike creates an incredible visual effect. The Liberty Bell may appear twice, the moon may overlap, and Eisenhower's portrait may be distorted in ways that make the coin look like modern art. These dramatic errors are not only breathtaking to see, but they also command massive premiums at auction, with top examples fetching amounts that rival classic gold coins. Collectors also prize die varieties such as double dies, where parts of the design show doubling from hubbing errors. On the Bicentennial Eisenhower dollar, even minor doubling on the Liberty Bell or Eisenhower's profile can dramatically boost a coin's value. When authenticated and graded by top services like PCGS or NGC, such coins can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. It's one of the few times the U.S. Mint changed the design of circulating coinage for a national celebration. Millions of Americans saved these coins as keepsakes, tucking them into jars and albums. That means demand has never gone away, and when a rare error shows up, collectors are willing to pay almost anything to add it to their collection. How to make a fortune? Most bicentennial quarters are common, but a handful are mind-blowingly rare because of one of these reasons: striking errors. Double dies, off-center strikes, and wrong planchet errors. High-grade condition, mint state 67 and above, are extremely scarce. Special silver issues, some 40% silver bicentennial quarters carry premium values. Proof errors, cameo and deep cameo proofs with mistakes are highly collectible. One MS68 example sold for over $70,000, making headlines and proving just how much collectors will pay for perfection, errors that could make you rich. Imagine pulling one of these from an old collection and realizing it's not just worth a few $100s, but potentially $50,000 or more. And for the most spectacular errors, the figure can easily surpass $70,000, $80,000, and yes, even $90,000. The history of these coins only adds to their appeal. The Bicentennial celebration was one of the biggest national events in American history. Every town had parades, fireworks, and patriotic displays. The Mint wanted the coins of 1976 to reflect that spirit, so they struck millions with the special dual date and commemorative designs. People saved them in jars, rolls, and boxes, thinking they might one day be valuable. And for most, the coins are worth only face value or a few dollars. But for the tiny handful of collectors who stumble upon error coins, the value is nothing short of staggering. It's like finding a lottery ticket you didn't know you had. Auction records tell the story best. A 1976 Bicentennial Eisenhower dollar with a major error in pristine condition has sold for prices approaching $80,000. Another example, a wrong planchet strike, reached nearly $90,000 under the hammer. These are not isolated sales. Here are the top bicentennial quarter errors that could turn your change into cash. Double die obverse DDO. Look for doubling in the dates 1776 to 1976 and the word. These are among the most valuable error types. Off-center strikes. If the drummer boy or date is not centered, you could be holding a piece worth hundreds or even thousands. Wrong planchet errors. Some bicentennial quarters were accidentally struck on dime or half-dollar plankets, making them extremely rare, valued in the five figures. Silver-clad errors. San Francisco produced 40% silver collector versions. But sometimes these silver blanks ended up at the wrong mint, creating wild mismatches. That shocked collectors and valuable. A PCGS MS68 bicentennial quarter sold for $69,000 plus. Several proof errors have fetched $5,000 to $10,000. Wrong planchet bicentennial errors have crossed $20,000 to $40,000 at major auctions. That's why collectors check their 1976 quarters carefully. A simple coin roll hunt can uncover a life-changing coin. How to tell if you have a valuable one? Check the mint mark. Pinot mint mark, D or S. The S mint silver proofs are most valuable. Time and again, when one of these rare coins appears, collectors battle fiercely, driving the price higher and higher. For many bidders, it's not just about owning a coin. It's about owning a once-in-a-lifetime treasure, a piece of American history that almost no one else can claim. And that's what makes this coin so exciting. The 1976 Dear Bicentennial Eisenhower dollar is not a museum piece locked away forever. It could be out there right now, sitting in someone's drawer, tucked inside a box of old coins, or even hiding in a roll of dollars passed down from a relative. Every time a collector looks through their coins, the possibility exists that one of these six-figure treasures could be waiting. That's why this coin captures the imagination of so many people. Think about the feeling of discovering one. You open an old album, you slide a coin from its holder, and something doesn't look right? Maybe the coin feels heavier because it's silver when it shouldn't be. Maybe the strike looks strange, with part of the design missing or doubled. Your heart races. You take a closer look, and then, after checking the details, you realize what you have. In that moment, an ordinary Eisenhower dollar transforms into a fortune worth $70,000 to $90,000. That's the magic of this coin.